So my first week at Commodore, and by the way, I was hired as a technician. I didn't even know that till I read Brian Bagnall's book, right? So it's like any way you get in the door. So I go off, just, you know, this is cool. I'm above a chip. I mean, I'd read about chips, and now I'm above a chip fab. And I go into the chip, the R&D lab for the chip guys, and they're working on the chip called the TED, a text display, and it later became known as the +4 and the 264. And they're on their third rev of the chip. Now, I have to tell you back then that we didn't have the tools like even we have just on a PC with running Altium. When they designed a chip, they had to draw the transistors, hand draw them, and then somebody would make polygons of overlap, and if you overlap two things, it's a transistor. And they didn't have the design rule check that said, here's the schematic and here's what ended up on the chip. They had nothing that told you that it was equal like that. Well, but they did have a rule that would say if something got too close, but they didn't have a rule then that said that a path had cut right across these other address lines. And that's what happened. A10 went across 9, 8, and 7, and then up to make a corner. So you couldn't talk to the chip, right? The address lines are shorted together. And they're on the third rev to get this far, and they are not, it cost us $500,000 to do a rev. So they're under a microscope looking at this broken chip. I'm like, hey guys, what you doing? And the guy, he's there and he goes, okay, turn on the microscope light. Okay, good, we're in NTSC mode, turn off the microscope light. And my eyes get big and I'm like, did you just use the photons of the microscope light to flood the register to flip it into NTSC mode so you can take measurements? He goes, yeah, I'm like, I am so working in the right place. I knew this is where I needed to be, right? Because this is stuff I'd only read about, and now they're over there using photons, you know, as a work tool.